Welcome back to another episode of Friday Sews. I think it's episode 5. I haven't checked. If I get that wrong, I'll put some words on the screen. It does feel a little bit crazy actually welcoming you back to another one because I'm actually filming this on Monday. So what I'm going to do this week, I'm going to do my video in little pieces and then put it all together. I kind of did it in mainly one part last week with a little bit added on Friday. But I'd really hope to get all the filming done so Friday morning the video is ready for you. Well, that's the plan anyway. Oh, I've just realised there's something I wanted to show you. Hang on, bear with me, I'll just stop the video. Right, I'm back. I did think about doing another intro and starting again, but I just thought no, I'll just carry on. So do you remember me telling you about a mug that I ordered? And it was because Lindsay, who watches my channel, she shared it on Facebook, this mug that she'd had, and I was tempted, I must admit, but it was a bit scary because the price that you think you're going to pay, you don't end up paying because of tax and shipping and things. It's really weird because you pay the import for the shipping from abroad, but they're already here, if you know what I'm saying. So it's kind of good in a way because it's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? If you have to pay for something abroad, all that shipping, you've got to wait for ages, a month to get it. They're already here, but then you pay that. So when Lindsay gave me a discount code, the mug was only going to come to £10. I think I've ended up paying 20 something pound in the end by the time everything all totted up, even with the 10% discount. But you may agree it's pretty nice. Now I did order the one, there's 2 different sizes, so I ordered, I think it was the 15 ounce, which is the one that's slightly bigger, and it was more, not well, a little bit because of the size, because I wasn't really sure how small the small one would be. And I do like a big mug because I have a coffee machine called a Tassimo, and I like these Americanos in the morning, and they're quite big, and then if you want to put milk in as well, you need a bit of room for your milk. So this is what it says on the back. Now that was, if you wanted a sewing mug, you can see the light there shining, can't you? That's what it says. Beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. Do you know what? I'll pop a photograph on for you to look at that. Is it that? I'll put it that side. For you to have a look. I know I've took a photograph, and on the other side I'll put a photograph on again, and I can look at it. I had my name on it. You had a choice of hairstyles, choice of hair colour. The top was always the same, but you could choose what colour top. And then regarding the sewing machine, you could have either an old-fashioned like black sewing machine or a more modern white machine. Now, as you can see from my picture, I've gone for the white. I was in 2 minds, right, because I do sew with my Singer and I love it, but I'm more likely to sew on a modern machine than I am on my Singers most of the time, just because they're plugged in and ready to go all the time. It's a bit more of a rigmarole to get the other one off the dresser and, and carry it, plug in. They're quite heavy and things. Maybe in time when I redo my craft room, maybe I will try and have it set up all the time so I can just use it at will, kind of thing. We'll just have to see what kind of setup I end up with when this room has been redone and we've made some changes. But it's going to be a long time now because we've decided that this is going to be the last thing we do in the house. So I might be in this room the way it is for quite a long time. So and when I do move out of it, I'm going to be moving into the room the other side of the hallway, temporary, which is smaller, but I'm planning on leaving this desk in here when this room is getting redone, kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be a bit crazy, but this is a while off now anyway. So yeah, the company I bought it off, I saw it on Facebook. They've got like ads that come up and things. I think they're called Grosby, something like that. I'll try and put something up on the screen, maybe a screenshot of something or other of theirs. And I can't remember it begins with G and ends in E, kind of Grosby or something like that. But yeah, it's absolutely lovely, and I've used it once so far. it actually did arrive on Friday, because I wanted to show you on my last Friday sews, but I'd already, finalised my video and it was all going up and everything. But so yeah, I can show you now. Now, my lampshade, as I told you in my last video, did I tell? No, I didn't tell you, because I hadn't finished it, had I? I have now finished stitching my lampshade, the one like this, but a springtime theme one. The only thing I need to do is basically cut out the shape now and sew on the binding. I think the reason I probably haven't done it is because I am really missing my sewing machine, because I'm leaving my main sewing machine set up for free motion embroidery in here all the time. I'm having to do all my sewing in the kitchen on this little tiny machine to take out, and I just don't enjoy it as much. I do sometimes. I think I do enjoy it. I enjoy being in there and I'm around people and pets and things. But my husband has been using that table as well. So it's not, he's got a lot of wires and soldering iron and things. And I've got a lot of my calligraphy things on there. So the table is looking a bit of a mess. And it's not as inviting as my little sewing corner kind of thing. So I will have to go and sew the binding on my spring lampshade on in there. What I'll do is I machine it on one side and then I flip it over and then I stitch it by hand. But saying that, looking at this one, it looks like I've machined it both sides. Maybe I just couldn't be bothered. I think some of them I've done that. I've machined it and then I've hand tacked the other side. And some of them I've actually machined them on both sides. I think it's whatever mood I've been in at the time, probably. But that one, you can see I've machined that one down. So yeah, so maybe if I want to get it done quick, maybe I'll machine it. I don't know. So what I have been doing, was it Friday? Oh, yeah, so as soon as I finished stitching my lampshade on Friday night, I did it quite soon on. There was only a tiny little bit to do. Because I do it while I watch like an Emmerdale. There's no doctors on Friday to record. So I wanted to carry on doing some embroidery, like, hand stitching. So you might have seen this on Instagram or Facebook already, but this is what I made. And do you remember me showing you something I ordered from Mandy recently, and it's called the Spring Dome Decorations? Well, I've made one, and that's the one I've made so far. And I've finished the embroidery of another one, and I've actually nearly finished the embroidery of another one, but then I'll have to make them up as a dome. I've got to cut the backing out and things and then stitch it all together. Now I hope to make, sorry, I've got pyjama bottoms on here, please excuse me, but I really hope, I don't know how many domes I get in the kit, but I really hope to just stitch as many as I can. And I've got two twiggy trees. I actually keep them in here now most of the time, but when it's Easter I put it in the room, the other side of the hallway. I put it in the window over Easter, and I put all little Easter decorations on it. And it's like things I've knitted and sewn and things. All my Easter decorations, I'm just wondering if there's any still down here, are all in the loft at the moment. I haven't got them down. So but I plan to just absolutely cram this tree with these things. And what's really nice is they don't all scream Easter. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stitch the ones first that kind of scream Easter. I know like bunnies, you can have those anytime, but one of them is an Easter egg. So I've started stitching that one, because I think, well, try and do the ones that are very Eastery first, and then the other ones, some of them are just like plant pots with flowers in and things. So you could have them up in the summer, really, couldn't you? Spring and summer. Maybe take them down when it's autumn and you start going all, orange and browns and, orange and black and things, for Halloween. So this is what my house is like. If you ever visit here, I have these seasonal things. And actually in the summer, I go quite nautical, red, white and blue as well. So it's just a bit of a thing I do all year round. And I think that's why I like Mandy, actually, because I'm that kind of person anyway. And then when I discovered Mandy, Mandy does stick to red work a lot of the time, but Mandy seems to be the same, that she tends to decorate all the different seasons, so she's a woman after my own heart kind of thing, so I can relate to her quite a lot, I think. So, Poppy to Fry project. Now, I couldn't give you any spoilers, could I? And all I could tell you is that it was Cornish cottages, it was going to be a picture, and I showed you a picture of the supplies that we'd need, because I'd got a little thing here, hadn't I? And I found the drawing on my sewing machine, which is good. I've probably misplaced it. I think it's here actually. So where I thought it actually was where I thought it was. It was just stuck to another piece of paper and I couldn't see it. Well, anyway, the picture came through and from Poppy on Saturday, the thing that we're going to be making. And I did shriek with excitement, but it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, really, when it was Cornish cottages. I think I had a vision. It was going to be maybe more cottages, maybe, close up, and it was more about the cottages. But it's actually a coastal picture, which is gorgeous. I love it, and I'm definitely doing it. It's more of a coastal picture with a cottage on it, and it's lovely. And but I did want to put my own, a bit of my, well, I say my own spin, but it is something of Poppy's, something else of Poppy's on this picture. So this is how big it's going to be. We get the mount in it, and I've actually ordered the picture frame. I'm normally useless at getting picture frames. You think, yes, we'll frame that, and it never happens. Well, I've been really good, because I thought, well, if I get this frame ordered now, by the time I've made it, I could frame it straight away, which would be really nice. So I'll show you. Actually, what's really nice is somebody has been to the place what this picture is based on. So I'll show you Poppy's picture again. Right, and she says she simplified a picture of a place in Cornwall, Penworth, I think, or Pembroke. I can't remember what it's called, but you know, when I come back on one of my other videos, I'll tell you what the name of the place is. Well, somebody in the Poppy to Fry, we've got like a private Facebook group for the club members, shared this picture. So I'll pop that on, and that's the actual place. So Poppy did say that there was more on there, like there's more boats and things, but she just put it down to one boat, but there is only one cottage. Well, I've decided to tinker with this, right? Now I'll show you what I've done so far. I haven't done any stitching, and I haven't stuck all the pieces on, but excuse the state of this, it's gone a bit brown. This is what I've got so far. So this is like that beach area, and then that green bit. I've done the cottage, but I've got some white, so I've done my cottage white, and I've put a lighthouse here as well. So it probably looks quite basic. Do you know when I've showed you these embroideries before? They really look very childlike and basic when you're just sticking pieces. It's like a bit like, you know, when you're a child and you have those felt pieces and you make up a picture and you put all the felt. It looks very much like that, doesn't it? But when you've ever seen things I've showed you before, like the little cottage pot I made at Christmas, they look so childlike and basic, and once you put the stitching on, you can go to town and it just comes to life. And I think so, that's why one of the reasons I've bought this video early, because I wanted to show it you before I start sticking all the other. Here's a load of pieces here I've got, look. A load of pieces I've cut out. So all my pieces are cut out, and actually Poppy just embroiders the windows, but what I've decided to do, I'm using a darker fabric to put on the windows, then I'm going to stitch the windows in white, a little bit like what I've done on the Christmas cottages pot that I made in the Christmas club. And I'm having a blue door. The boat is blue, so I've used a tiny little bit of the blue, and I'm going to have a blue door. So yeah, I'm really excited about doing this actually. I really love doing this arty stuff. I absolutely love dressmaking. I love researching what I'm going to make, getting the right fabrics. You know, I even love getting pen to paper and messing around with patterns and things. And then I love the sewing of the clothes. I love that. But doing creative stuff is really you know, it hits the nail on the head for me kind of thing. I just feel like I just really enjoy that creativity and get a bit freestyle. You know, sewing straight lines, really, it's a bit boring, isn't it, really? I love what you end up with, but yeah, it's a bit boring. Just straight, when you've been doing this kind of thing, it can feel a bit, when you know, you just sew a straight line, because of the excitement of watching this kind of come together kind of thing. It is quite fun. But yeah, but I love dressmaking. I'm not knocking dressmaking, it's amazing, because I can't go out wearing a picture. Well, I could put some straps on it, couldn't I? Like a billboard, and go out, but I'd look a bit of a strange one. But yeah, your clothes, you get to go out, don't you, and wear your clothes. So it's all kinds of sewing is amazing. Home decor and everything's lovely, but this just does something for me personally, kind of thing. So I'm just thinking, is that all I want to show you so far? So yeah, I think so. So hopefully along the week, I'm going to do more, because this is what I'm doing in the evening. Obviously I've got to set up a sewing machine and spend some time doing a bit of lampshade, and I've got to carry on sticking pieces to my picture and doing the embroideries. Oh, and actually the lighthouse, where I got the idea for the lighthouse is I had a look. Poppy sells tea towels, so I went on her website and had a look at her tea towels, because what it is, she sells things that are more intricate looking on the tea towels, because they're printed, because obviously she probably tries to keep things a little bit more basic for the people that are sewing for her for the shop. So when it comes to things like tea towels, she can go a bit more to town with the detail, because it's going to be a print that's repeated. She's not expecting anyone to stitch it, so that's why she does sell pictures, but they are like over £100, the pictures she sells, and I totally understand because of the time, and she's probably doing them, and she's an artist, isn't she? You're paying for her art. So yeah, so I think it's quite nice for this club, because we're not actually allowed to sell them anyway. You couldn't sell them if you wanted to. So yeah, so you could just kind of get it down, because they're like one-off pieces kind of thing that you know you're only going to do once kind of thing. So yeah, that's all exciting. So hopefully I'll have a picture sewn up by the end of the week. Hopefully my lampshade will be all finished to show you, and I'll have some more little domes. So at the moment, that's all I know that's going on at the moment. You know, I'm quite spontaneous, so maybe if I finish the lampshade and I finish the picture, domes will be ongoing probably all week, I'd say. I don't think I'll get all those done this week in the evening. Probably a bit of dressmaking is going to come along. I've got an idea of what I want to make next. It's probably not going to be those shorts that I was showing you this fabric for, which I don't even know if I'm going to have enough. Yeah, I think it's something else. Oh, and frugal frock. So on Wednesday, I'm allowed to share my frugal frock on social media. So you might, if you're seeing this video Friday morning or whenever you're watching it, you might have seen my frugal frock already. But during this video, I'm allowed to show you. So there's nothing stopping me from telling you now, actually, is there really? Because you're not going to see this till Friday. But yeah, I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to show you these bits for now, and hopefully you'll start seeing everything come together, and you might be inspired to make something yourself that you've seen. Obviously I know that with the Poppy Club, nobody else can join that now. I have said that in previous videos, so I am really sorry about that. But Poppy has got projects from the first club. She's got 3 clubs including this one. There's projects that you can purchase individually, not with the supplies. It's just you can do that project on its own, and you can purchase them individually on a website. So that's worth checking out if you want to check that out. I'm just thinking, have I got... Oh, right. I've got the template for this week. That's what Poppy has given us. So those red pieces are like the background pieces. Can you see? And then that's the piece in the middle of those 2 pieces, and then these are all the little pieces that you piece together kind of thing. So, and you do these multiple times. These are all the rocks, and that's the roof, and that's the boat, and that's the rubber ring that, or the, what do you call it, the ring that that red and white ring. That's what sits in the boat on the picture. So yes, I can't wait to start sewing that actually. So but I don't know if any sewing other than domes tonight will be going on. But yeah, but thank you so much for joining me so far on my Friday sews, and I'll be back in another clip. So see you in a bit. Right, welcome back to the next day. I'm just popping on for a few minutes. It's Wednesday today. Is it Wednesday? No, it's Tuesday. Tuesday the 30th I'm filming now. And I thought I'd just pop on to let you know kind of what's been going on. You know, I'm kind of doing a bit of a sewing week diary kind of thing this week, aren't I? So yesterday, my youngest son had to go to the orthodontist after school. We had a bit of time to kill, got there a bit early, and parents aren't allowed in. You have to basically phone them to say that you're there, and then they'll ring you when it's time for your child to go in, and they have to go in on their own, and then they come back out to you. So it's been a bit of a nightmare actually, because over this last year my son's been going, I haven't known how, you know, is he brushing his teeth well. You know, I've had no feedback basically, but actually the orthodontist actually spoke to me yesterday on the phone, which was nice. So but she didn't tell me anything that you know, to worry about. She just wants me to chase up the dental hospital because he's got to have surgery basically. So yes, I've got to chase them up today. So why I'm telling you this is I've got like a little sewing suitcase that I do like red work and embroidery from, and I took it in the car with me just in case, you know, I got time to do it. So I carried on doing a little bit of stitching. I'd started a couple more embroideries. I showed you the bunny one when I was filming yesterday, and I'd started some others, but I got to basically finish off all the embroidery side of things and did a few running stitches and things. And last night I got to finish them off properly. So I shared a photograph on social media last night of the 3 that I've made so far. So you've probably seen that already, you know, obviously because I'm you know, you're seeing this Friday, you might have seen that Monday evening, but I've got them here anyway. So here they are. Now, basically, on the picture of the pattern, Mandy's only made some of them. She hasn't made all of them. So you kind of have to go a bit freestyle with your colours. I'll pop that photograph on that I've shared of the 3 I've made so far. Yeah, you have to go a bit freestyle with your colours on some of them. You can't really go by exactly what Mandy's done because you don't know, basically. There's only like a few on the front of the picture. But it's quite nice because you get to choose yourself. And this is what they look like at the back. They're all green and like a pale spotty fabric on the back. So yeah, I'm going to just keep making those in the evening. But instead of, when I've finished these off properly, I didn't want to start another because I'd finished my lampshade embroidery, hadn't I? So yesterday I had about half an hour before lunchtime, and I stitched on the binding. I didn't do any hand stitch on the binding. I literally sewed it all on the machine. I thought, oh, you know, I'll just go for it, get it done quickly. And then when I'd finished doing the embroidery on the, you know, to finish off those little things, I sewed on the bar tacks on the lampshade, and I sewed on the buttons. So here is it. You probably can see a little sneaky peek of it now. I'll just pull it down a little bit, it's not covering the shade. And this is it now. As you know, I didn't really want the dark linen, did I, with the dark red for Easter, because I don't feel that it's very Easter looking really, but I suppose it does go with my other red works that I've done, doesn't it, in my home. But Lindsay, who I was telling you about yesterday, who got me onto the mug, she tagged me in something Amanda's on Instagram, and Mandy had shared a video of like past lampshades. Some of them were from the club this year, which I haven't got any of those because I wasn't in, and some of them were from the club that I was in, because you get 6 a year basically. So I've done 5 out of the 6, and I was like sort of drooling with envy at some of them that I've missed out on this year. So I really hope that, because Mandy sells some of them from the year I was in it as individual kits, not all of them I don't think, so I really hope she sells some of them, you know, from the current club. But the reason Lindsay had tagged me is that I don't know if Mandy's stitched it, or somebody at Dandelion Designs, they'd stitched this one on light linen, which I would have loved, wouldn't I? In the light threads, like what I've used on here, and they'd use pink. Do you know, if you watched my videos last year, you'll see that I made an Easter bunting on dark linen with all, like, you know, pastel pieces on it, and I used a pink gingham binding with a frilly edge, and whoever had made it had put that on the edge instead of this binding, and it was to die for. And I did feel a bit gutted because I just finished this, and it's not what I really wanted, is it? I wanted something more spring-like, really, but I'm not going to let it bother me. Maybe if I haven't got lots of Easter things I want to make next year, maybe I'll save that design and see if I can reuse it, and maybe do it on some light linen, get some nice pink gingham and do it in all different colour threads, and then have 2 up at Easter. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So that's what I've made so far, and I did go and sew it in the kitchen. It was actually quite nice, actually, because this room is on the west side of the house, so it gets the sun late in the afternoon, but because we've got a conservatory that side, it was really lovely and sunny. I had like it wasn't because it's like winter sun, isn't it? When you get winter sun in your conservatory, it's actually really nice. You don't want to be sewing in your conservatory in the summer because, you know, you're going to be baking, you know, in there, aren't you? But yeah, it's really nice, actually. I had the sunshine, the warmth of the sun on my skin while I was sewing that yesterday. It was really nice. But so that's what I've got going on so far with the sewing since I filmed yesterday. I did watch the bit of video back that I filmed so far, and what I didn't show you, which I could have, but this is the lighthouse that I've drew here, that I'm going to put on my embroidery. Do you know, where is it now? Do you know what I showed you yesterday? When the thing I'm doing, the poppy to fry, and I said I'm putting a lighthouse on. When I've done all the embroidery, this is what I'm going to copy. So at the minute, I've just got an applique piece that's grey, this big chunk here, and then I've put a white piece on. But when I've done all the embroidery, I hope that I'm going to copy this, basically, this drawing I've done, and free motion it. Now, how I've got this drawing is I had a look. Do you remember me telling you I had a look at the tea towels on Poppy's site, because the things are more intricate on the tea towels because they're prints, and there is a lighthouse on one of the tea towels. So I'll get that photograph on now. So I've looked at that on the screen, and then I've put. I cut, this isn't the only print out, I printed this out again, and I had all these little pieces, I've got them here actually, I had all the tiny little pieces, and I lay them on a square. I drew out the size, put them all on, and then I lay this paper on top because I needed to get the sizing right. I couldn't just draw it any old size, so I put this over my picture, and then I kind of, you know, tried to make it tie in, so hopefully it will look a nice size when I've, like, you know, it will tie in okay with the picture. So yeah, so I'm really excited about doing that. I haven't got round to do that. I had such a busy day, you know, because obviously I snatched a few minutes to do the binding, you know, the school run and having to hang around, and then the orthodontist. So I did all that kind of thing, and then when I got back, obviously I'd got all these things that are in the air, so I just wanted to finish that. And in all honesty, free motion embroidery, I'd have free motion embroidered in the evening, you know, I have done if that's the only time I've got, but it's nice to do it a bit earlier sometimes in the day, isn't it? Well, I don't often get to sew in the morning usually. It's normally like afternoon or evening, you know, whenever I can grab. It might be 10 minutes I grab here and there. So that's all I've got to show you so far. I don't know if I'll film anything else today. I've put something on for you, something I thought I can start wearing this now. It's my Agnes, my most recent Agnes by Tilly and the Buttons, Agnes top, and it's got Miffy the rabbit. I use Miffy the rabbit organic cotton that I got from John Lewis before lockdown, basically. I just went in there to get a stripy jersey, and I didn't like the composition of any of them, but this one I did like. So yeah, so, and the temperature at the moment is 16 degrees, and apparently it's going to get up to 20 today. So I might be in a vest by later, who knows, you know. So yeah, so I think it's going to be short-lived. I think we're going to get basically 2 nice days today and tomorrow, and I think it's going to go cold again. And there's rumours, aren't there, that we're going to have snow for Easter. So we'll just see what happens. So thank you so much for joining me in this part, and I'll see you again in the next bit. Okay, thank you, bye. Welcome back, it's Frugal Frock Day. I can hardly believe this time has come around. It seems like a distant memory for me, really, because I basically made my dress straight away. As soon as I got involved in this challenge, I did it. So it's not the only thing I'm going to be showing you today. Hang on, I'm just going to move my lampshade slightly to the side. Yeah, I apologise, I am wearing the same top as yesterday. I've just done the morning school run, and I just grabbed something quickly to put on. You know what it's like, you know, getting their children out and things. And I've got a telephone meeting this morning, so I just thought I'm going to get on and do this, and then obviously I'll be free for this telephone meeting kind of thing. So it's been a bit of a crazy morning already. We have a milkman come on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and they're meant to be here before 7 o'clock, and we actually ran out of milk last night, and the milkman hasn't been coming before 7 o'clock, so we would have all had no breakfast. The youngest is at school, the eldest at college, my husband's working, you know, I'm running out in the school run. We didn't want to all go out without breakfast, and obviously I've got to home educate my middle son, but obviously I would have time to sort him out, wouldn't I? But when I got back, yeah, unfortunately that happened. So my husband, he ordered us a McDonald's breakfast, so I took my McDonald's coffee with me, and I've still got it now, so I'm going to finish drinking that in a moment. So last night I stitched up another dome, right, and this is it. And it's basically, they're called springtime domes, aren't they? So even though they're very like spring and Easter looking, I won't have to take them down when Easter is over. Actually, I'll pop a photograph on just in case that's not coming up very well. And it's just a little birdhouse, and I thought that's lovely. But this literally took me just under an hour from start to finish. All the embroidery and sewing it all together. I know this because I started it when Emmerdale started, and I'd finished it just before it turned 8 o'clock, so it took me an hour from start to finish to make this. So that's nice to know. I could basically get one done every evening, really, couldn't I? So if all well and good, if I'm feeling like it. So Frugal Frock, now nobody's seen it yet, because at this moment in time I'm filming this, I haven't even shared it on Instagram, but I've got to share it today, and it will go over to Facebook as well, because when I share something on Instagram, it goes over to my Periwinkle Cottage Crafts on Facebook. So yeah, so nobody at this moment is, wow, I say nobody's seen it. I have wore it in the garden. What it is, we've got a garden room, and next door I've got a garden room, and we've got, you know, and they've got their patio and things down there. We will have a patio outside of it, but we just leave a fence panel out, so we can sit in our garden, they can sit in theirs. and we can, you know, socialise without even crossing the border kind of thing, and see each other, you know. So when it's been at special occasions, birthdays, we've kind of give each other a little wave and had a little drink in our own garden. So I have wore it for my neighbours' a birthday down in my garden, so it has been worn and I did feel really nice in it. So what I'll do is I'll start popping some photographs on of my dress. Now these photographs of what I took when I just made it kind of thing, and I can't even remember what they look like and how good the photographs are actually. Maybe I could have done with taking new ones, I don't know, but yeah, I'll start popping those up. Now how this dress kind of came about, now before I was asked to do frugal frock, I did get an idea in my head that I'd like to wear something for the evening, and I thought about the kind of thing I like, and I like strappy, and I do like I don't mind a low cut, but I like it to be quite narrow. I don't usually like low cut wide, so my plan was to try and make a top or dress before frugal frock of that sort. So when I was asked to do frugal frock, I thought, oh well, this is my perfect opportunity. Now I will admit it didn't turn out exactly as I planned. I would have liked it to be a bit closer, really. You know, I feel like, you know, I'm quite out there kind of thing with it, but I don't wear a bra with it because I think if I wore a bra it would give me all this oomph and I just feel like I'm all boob kind of thing. Gosh, I can feel something on my face, bear with me. So that's where the idea for the shape kind of came around, and I wanted something quite fitted, not really short but not below the knee, probably something just above the knee. That's what I was thinking. And so when I was actually because of joining this frugal frock, I actually found out about Frugalissima, Sam, who was basically running this with Ruan, the Yorkshire Sew girl, and she shared an underwear pattern called, have I got it? I think, yeah, I'm going to bear with me. Back in a minute. Right, found them. Right, it's the free bra pattern. Well, I say free bra pattern. It was a free underwear pattern. And it was called the Elana Lingerie Set by Mood Patterns. Sorry. I don't know, I was thinking of Fibre Mood. Yeah, Mood Patterns. Now, I'd never heard of Mood Patterns, so they were brand new to me. So what I did, I read my size and I just used the cup. That was it. I didn't use anything else from this pattern. It was just the cup shape, basically. So I had it was in 2 pieces. And what it did say in the pattern is that you might want to line it with some power mesh, right? So I did have some power mesh because I'd bought, I haven't got it to hand, a bra. It didn't come with a pattern, but it was just a few things you can make a bra, but I haven't used it. So unfortunately, now I've used this power mesh. If I wanted to do a bra pattern that's got power mesh, I haven't got the power mesh anymore. But this, I'll show you my power mesh, and that's it. That's what's on the inside. I tried that on. Well, actually, at this point, I hadn't chose the power mesh. I just got the shape. So I thought, what can I use? Now, you may have seen a while ago, I made the Deer and Doe Ondi sweater. I've made the short sleeve with the collar, and I've also, the first one I made was the longer sleeve. I got it here. This is my Ondi sweater, and it's like in this lovely pinstripe. Now, I bought this fabric as a part of a kit with the Alice top from Owl and the Sewing Cat, but I didn't end up getting round to making the Alice top. It wasn't that I wasn't going to, but when I discovered the Ondi sweater, and I got that fabric in my stash. I just went ahead and made it, and it's quite a little crop jumper. Maybe I've put some photographs, if I can find some photographs of me wearing it in. And I absolutely love that sweater. So when I was looking through my stash of what I could use for this frugal frock, I actually found what I'd got left from that, and I couldn't believe how much of it I'd got left. I wasn't sure entirely if I was going to get a whole dress out of it. It was a bit like, we'll try and see. So I cut out the bust pieces, I cut out some strap pieces. Now, you were meant to have elastic if it was a bra underneath, so I cut a piece of fabric that was the size of the elastic, but I did it thicker than the elastic was supposed to be. I just thought, how thick do I want this? I allowed for a seam here and a seam where it would join to the dress, but I thought it's going to be too tight, this is, so I cut a longer piece and I stitched it on, and I basically stitched it all together. So to start with, I basically had a bra. I put the power mesh in, I had a bra so far like this, and it had a raw edge. I had no dress, I just had a top piece. Even though it showed a little bit more than I was hoping, I still really liked it. I thought, you know, like a date night with my husband and things, it should be okay. So then I thought, well, I want a kind of fitted dress, not skin tight kind of dress, but you know, a kind of like skimming fitted jersey kind of dress. And I've got a pattern, so I didn't use this pattern exactly, but I just used the size and things a bit of a guide. I've got a dress pattern called the Anticipation dress, and it needs 4-way stretch apparently, and I've put EM. I'm just trying to think who the designer is. Oh, Ellie and Mac. That's the Anticipation dress. That, if you look at that, looks quite short. My dress isn't like that, and she's got sleeves and a flouncy bit. So as you can see, my dress looks nothing like that, because I didn't really use it exactly kind of thing. I just found it useful for a bit of a guide. I was a bit generous with the size because I didn't want it skin tight, because that looks quite skin tight. So I went a bit up in size, and I drew out, I traced and cut out the actual dress pattern pieces, knowing that I wasn't going to use them all. So when I ended up looking at the waist point, because you could see very obviously where the pattern nipped in at the waist. So I thought about where my waist is, I thought about where the top finishes, so I thought about seam allowance, I measured up the gap, and I thought about seam allowance again, and I thought that's how much I need of this dress to add above the waist. So then I lopped off the top. Now it was a bit different with the back piece, because the back piece was a top and a bottom piece, so the front dress is all in one, but the back piece isn't. So I had to join the dress pattern piece at the back to the skirt and tape it. Then I had to work out that distance and then lop that off, and then I didn't know this looked quite long actually, so I lopped. I thought about where I measured the waist, thought about where I wanted it to end, thought about the hem allowance, and I lopped a lot off it, quite a few inches actually. I can't remember exactly how many now, because that was the start of March that I made it. So I ended up sewing then, I cut my dress pieces out, and then I sewed it together. I forgot to mention something really important. You're going to think my dress doesn't look nothing like this. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. You're thinking, that's not that fabric. Wow, it is. When I was cutting my fabric pieces out, I decided I really liked this, but it's actually it's inside out, look. That is the outside of the fabric, and the outside of the fabric is really, really soft. So that is what's on my skin. So it's an absolute dream to wear, because that is on the inside. I feel like actually, because I've got no bra on or anything, I feel like I'm in a really comfy nightie, but I'm actually in a really pretty dress, you know, evening dress, you know. So yeah, so I sewed it together, but the dress was quite a bit wider here than the band, but it kind of left, when I put it on, it left a couple of little bulges here between the band and where the dress started. So I had to basically just sew a little bit more. I took it back to the overlocker and I took, was it the sewing machine? I either took it back to the overlocker and I just lopped a bit more off and sewed it here. And basically that was it. It was so quick to make. And so the front door's going, my eldest son's going off to college now. It was so quick to make. Yeah, and it was done. There you go. And so I'm really, really pleased with this dress. I hope you like seeing it too. Is there anything I want to say about it? Or do you know what? If there's anything I've forgotten about it, I'm sorry this is a bit all over the place, because I made it like basically a month ago. Yeah, it's hard to remember everything. But yeah, so that's basically how my dress came about. I used a free bra pattern to just get some cut pieces, and then I just used and that dress pattern that I already owned, I got that in a $1 sale. So if you sign up to Ellie and Mac for your email, you often get free, you get these offers come through, and I got that in a $1 sale. So, and that was already in my patterns. I'd just not made it yet, and I will make the anticipation dress as it should be. Obviously I'll have to probably trace things out and things. And so yes, so I've done it quite cheaply, a free bra pattern, a $1 sale dress pattern that I already owned, and it was fabric I already had in my stash, and I just turned it inside out and it was just left over from a top. So I think I did okay on the frugal side of things, didn't I? And I just can't believe I've got such a lovely dress out of it. So I think that's all I'm going to say. So I did put some little clips in yesterday. My husband and I took the dogs to pick our son up from school, and we had a little walk around the park because it was so gorgeous. You just had to enjoy that sunshine, didn't you? It was like 21 degrees, I think, in the end. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed seeing a little snippet of the dogs walking on the leads. So thank you for joining me for this bit, and I'll see you in the next bit. And I've got to go now and post my frugal frock on Instagram. Okay, bye. Welcome back to the final part of Friday Sews. I'm recording this on Thursday afternoon at 2:45. Actually, I'm doing this a little bit late today because I just wanted to sew something before I finalise this video. I don't know if I'm finished with it 100%, but yeah, I might be done with it. And I wanted to see if there was anything I wanted to say about the frugal frock. I think the only thing I didn't mention is that on the top, I do cringe when I look at the videos back. Actually, I'm like, I think I need to think about what I'm going to say before I say it, and I just kind of just go with the flow. On the outside edge, you sew a binding and then you turn it to the inside. Now, as you probably can see there, I've used the outer for that piece. I don't know why I did that. I think maybe I just wasn't thinking. And then you do the same here. You basically, you do a binding around the front, which comes round here, and that goes all the way round to your back like that. Now, I didn't use the pattern piece for the bra for those. I just literally used the 2 cut pieces from that bra pattern, and I've done my own band and I've done my own straps. But I did have a look at the strap pieces, and I think they were narrower than what I used, and I think they were shorter. I think mine ended up being much longer. I think I did them longer than I thought I'd need them, and then I just thought what feels right and comfortable, and then I pinned and then I sewed it all together. So yeah, so I hope you you know, you can kind of get a bit of a gist on how this came together. And now I've posted my photographs on social media, and you will have seen some in this video as well. I must admit I did cringe a little bit because I hadn't looked at the photograph since when I first made it at the start of the month, and often when I'd have photographs taken in clothes, I try to like not, you know, do anything like, you know, like try to just be normal kind of thing, maybe smile and just kind of stand in different positions, but try to not make it look like too sexy. But I think with that dress, it doesn't matter how you stand, it just looks like that, doesn't it, you know? So I was thinking, oh gosh, you know, when I went to post it, I really wasn't sure, but but thank you so much. I've had so many nice comments on the dress. It just made me feel a little bit better actually about posting it, because I was was a bit nervous. But and you know what, I've been looking at the hashtag frugal frock, say it slowly, 2021 on Instagram. And oh gosh, if you haven't had a look, I reckon you're on Instagram, have a look, because oh gosh, the dresses people have made, anyone that's got involved in it, just well done. If you've got involved in it because you saw that, you know, you watch my videos and you've done your own, and you know, if you would tag me, if you watch my channel and you did a dress as well with the hashtag frugal frock, because you know, you saw my video when I shared that I was going to be taking part, then please tag me in your make, because I'd love to see it. It'd be really nice to see it. And yeah, it's just such an exciting thing. It's sad really it's come to an end, but there's always something, you know, to do. I'm never run out of ideas of things to sew anyway. The only thing I couldn't tell you exactly was the exact composition of this jersey, because you know, I bought it as a kit from Owl and the Sewing Cat for the Alice top. I did put some little pictures of Tracy's Alice top in this video further back. I hope you spotted those. I put some photographs of me wearing this, and then I put some photographs of the top I should have made. You'll probably see a lady and you won't see the head. I think it's Tracy modelling it, but her head's not in it. And but yeah, I don't know. I know it's a stretchy jersey, but I don't know the exact composition of it. It's really, I don't know basically. You make what you will of it. You know, let you have a close up. But I don't know what it's called exactly. It's a heavyweight jersey, I think. So I don't know exactly, but it was nice enough I could use it inside out anyway. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to say. But that's all I'm going to say. I've actually emailed Tracy to ask her, does she have any more of it, so I can actually make my Alice top, and could she tell me the actual composition, because I share my makes on YouTube and I like to tell my viewers what it is I've used. And but I haven't checked my email since I emailed her this morning. Yeah, normally I wouldn't be able to record at this time of day, but I've actually got all three of mine at home. My eldest son broke up from college already. My middle son at home educate anyway, and my youngest son, it was meant to be his last day today, but he twisted his ankle in PE and he was really in a lot of pain this morning, and he said he was just aching all over and things. So I just had to email the school, and he's had a day off. So yeah, I've had everyone at home, but it means I haven't had to do a school run, and I just had a little bit of sewing time. So I'm going to show you a picture of how my coastal scene was looking this morning. I'll pop a photograph in now. Hopefully that comes up okay. Now I'm going to show you what I've done. Now I might be done with it, with the embroidery, but that's why I haven't mounted it and framed it and things yet, because I just didn't want to be too hasty. But this is how it's looking now. Hopefully you can see that. Right, I'll pop in a photograph of it, because I did take a photograph of it, so you kind of can see the before and after. So it does really come to life, doesn't it? So I'll show you Poppy's picture of how Poppy's looked, so you might be able to see mine's a little bit different. Now I'll pop a photograph of mine now, so you can kind of see the little twist I've had on it. And yes, but I absolutely love it. The only thing I'd say is, I think I could have done with doing the lighthouse a bit bigger. I think the proportion of the lighthouse next to the house, it looks a little bit small really. But you know what, I'm not going to worry too much. I'm really delighted with it. I just don't know whether to add a few more details. Like I've got a little bird here. I don't know if to do any more birds. I don't know if to put any more on these, just on these background areas. I'm happy with all the rocks and all the pieces, but I don't know whether to put a little bit more things, you know, some squiggles here and there. But I'm just going to have a little bit of a think about it before I put the mount on, because this is the mount. So before I put the mount on and frame it, I just want to make sure I'm really happy with it. But I'm just glad I've got to show you, because I've spoke about this make in this video and I just wanted you to see it. So and I did another dome and it took me 1 hour and 5 minutes. I did it through an episode of Doctors and it did take me longer. I don't know, Emmerdale was it on long? No, it's tonight, isn't it? Yes, so it took me over 1 hour because I did it through Doctors and Emmerdale and I hadn't finished. I had to spend an extra 5 minutes, but I think it's because Emmerdale's quite exciting at the minute. So I think I was like taking my eye off the stitching and looking at the screen. But this is the one I made last night. It's a little chick. I haven't taken a photograph of this yet. And it says cheap, cheap. So, oh, and gosh, I had a lovely surprise this morning. Had a notification come up on my iPad saying there's a new issue of Sew to download, because I subscribed digitally, and I downloaded it, flicking through, having my breakfast, and then I flicked through to like the makers page where, like, you know, people have made things, and there was my make, and it was only the top that you've seen me wearing in this video, the Miffy the rabbit top, and I made the Agnes. But I was just so delighted. So I don't think So watch my videos, but thank you so much, So. But yeah, it was just a lovely surprise to see my make in there. So I think I'm going to finalise this video now. I can hear my husband just got back. He'll probably say hello. But thank you so much for joining me for another Friday Sews, and I'll see you next week. Bye.